Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 46 of Philo. This is, oh gosh, what did I name it? I named it something. Wait. I gotta turn off my thing because that's where. Neon Genesis Glupin Galleon. That's what I named it. Our special guest artist today is Kane Lynch, comic artist and awesome person, and I've known them forever. It's really I think you were in middle school and I was in high school when we first met.
It's my first year of high school, yeah, but we were definitely babies.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, we met online when you were still in middle school, but we met in person your first year of high school. I think. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. Whatever. But we've known each other since we were both babies. And so Kane's good people, and hi Tangent. And so Kane is joining us today. I got to share my screen. Oh wait, no, Kane, you have to share your screen. You forgot to.
Okay. How do I?
Yeah, remember it's the little arrow pointing up.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi Mutant Fox. Riley and I are back. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so we are going to turn on our screens, and I'm going to put me up in the big window right now. So where we left off in the story, Robin's sick today. She messaged me about an hour before the show that she had food poisoning, so she won't be joining us tonight. And this is her first show that she's missed all year. So, I mean, hardworking girl and good person, and I hope she feels better. And so I'm going it solo tonight. I'm doing a lot. Okay, so where we left off is they were in the Blutorium, and Ratchet Oil realizes they're trying to escape, and so when they kidnap her, she falls into a chemical oil slick and gets oily slick powers. Philo's rocket turns into a dog mech, and it obliterates the Blutorium, and then Ratchet Oil gloops onto the mech, making it stronger than before. The Philos and Armand make contact with the dog mech, and then Philo and Armand have a moment over the comm, and Ratchet Oil realizes she must ungloop from the dog mech, and she joins the crew. So that's where we left off in the story, is now we have an olive oil Nurse Ratchet, Philo, and a dog inside a dog mech, possibly inside a Cthulhu shroom. And they are trying to escape still their circumstances. So I know it's wild. I know it's crazy. Anybody whom we have in chat from before who wants to help out in the story, I would certainly appreciate it. Do you want to take first panel, or do you want me to take first panel?
I think maybe you should first, so I can watch the magic happen. And then
Well, I tend to like to have consecutive drawing going on.
Okay.
But that's okay.
You're the boss. I'll do it however you want.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. I like figuring out what each panel is.
Okay.
And then we kind of do it. So okay. So we have a dog. We have Philo, and we have Nurse Ratchet, who has now inky powers inside a dog mech outside the Blutorium. Did any of the Blutos survive? I am asking my audience. Or I'm asking my guests. Do you think the Blutos survived?
I would think some would have survived, but what does the audience think?
I don't know. It depends on how active they want to be tonight. Sometimes they're shy. And that's okay. We have to encourage them. All of them did. Oh, despite the fact. Wait. Okay, wait. Despite the fact that, is it down here? No. Is it down here? No. Is it down here? Okay. No. Wait. We see skeletons. Did they survive, or do they have
They got better.
Or yeah, do they have like Wolverine powers? Because if the Blutos have Wolverine powers, that adds a whole layer to this story. The Skeleblutos. Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Okay.
Logical.
So the caption is, now the Blutos are skeleton Blutos? Or now the Skeleblutos
Are they vowing revenge?
vowing revenge. I love it. The Skeleblutos are vowing revenge. And so that shall be my caption. And then, so what happens after the Skeleblutos are vowing revenge? Because they survived, apparently. And now I have to figure out how to draw Bluto as a skeleton who is still alive somehow. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's see, all of them skeleton they're skeleton Blutos. They are now deathly scared of doggos. And we do have a dog mech, and there is a dog on the inside. So would the dog now have, would he have a twinkle in his eye? Seeing all those bones? I don't know.
The dog is inside of the mech.
The dog is inside of the mech, and the Blutos are on the outside of the mech. But we have established that Nurse Ratchet Oil can transition between the inside and the outside of the mech. Probably a Yum thought balloon. I kind of like that idea of.
Is that coming from the dog?
Yeah, is that there's like a twinkle in the dog's eye. You know, looking at all those bones. What do you think your caption should be?
Let's see. Well, is the point? Are we staying with the Blutos here? Is this from their point of view, or are we now seeing the dog's point of view inside the ship?
I think. Well, what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna have the Blutos crawling on the outside of the dog mech, and then you can they would be on the monitors inside the dog mech, wouldn't they?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are there windows in the dog mech?
There's like a big stomach window, because that's where Kay put the control room in the dog mech.
Okay.
Was in the stomach window.
Is there a picture of the dog mech I can see?
Yes, I can give you a picture of the dog mech. Wow, my daughter is having quite the day right now. Yeah, so this is the dog mech right here.
Okay. Does
that help?
Yeah, I guess let me screen cap that.
Yeah. And then I have another picture too of the full body of the dog mech. Let me know when you screen captured this one, and then I'll give you the other ones. Okay, so here's two other ones. This is Kay's dog mech, and then that's mine.
Okay, like the backwards knees. That's some attention to detail.
I try. I know. Even though it's a dog mech, I gave him chicken feet.
Did you know the original idea for the Big Bird costume was that the performer would be backwards so the knees could go the wrong way?
That would be so hard to perform.
Yeah, I think that's why they didn't do it, but it's a fun idea.
Yeah, I've been scanning in. Wait, I have a void kitty on my lap. Alas, for my kitty, I need to get up for water. Also, my e-bike finally arrived. Yay! Though I'm holding off on assembling it until tomorrow when there's more light out. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I've been scanning in old sketchbooks from the last 15 years, and I'm both surprised and not surprised by the amount of puppet designs I have in my sketchbooks over that time. like over the years, I've had a various number of puppet designs. And so yeah, I think I'll have all these Blutos crawling up. So I don't know. So how have you been? What have you been up to? Talk about your book. Oh my gosh, I haven't even gone into like your book yet. Yes, you're amazing. You got your you got a real publisher.
Yeah, I did a short comic for our website for the Nib about my family, and then I was invited by an editor at Scholastic to pitch a book based on that. They were like, okay, maybe not all your family story is family friendly, but maybe there's a version that is.
Yeah.
And so for the last few years, I've been working on a story based on my weird family, and it's coming out next May.
Good.
Basically, it's about a kid whose parents...
You gave me a birthday present.
Oh.
It's about a kid. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
That's all right. It's about a kid whose parents get divorced, and then his best friend convinces him that they should make a movie about it. And so it's kind of like trying to make meaning in your life by telling the story in a narrative form. So it's kind of meta, because that's what I'm doing making the book, and that's what the characters are doing, you know.
Well, I mean, but you did that with Roscoe, right? And you did that with other friends too.
Yeah, and one of the things that was funny to realize is, like, I think it's probably different for kids today with YouTube, etc. But, like, back then, like, we never, like, finished any of the movies we would make. We'd, like, spend, like, every day at school being like, oh, man, we're going to do this part and this part. And we'd write screenplays and stuff. And we never actually finished it, you know? So.
Oh, that's okay. But I think it's the act of creating that's
exactly.
really important.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fun about it in a funny way. That we got one movie that we did finish, me and a different friend, Ben, and we convinced a local video store to carry it as a free rental, and then other kids would go to the video store and get it for free and then come and talk to us about it at school. So we, like, invented YouTube before there was YouTube.
That's cool. That you had people, like, renting your your video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, there was one line in one of your Star Wars videos that you made, you know, one of your stop motion ones.
Yeah.
Right? Where I don't even remember what your character was, right? But it's when your character makes the switch and you say, like, I think I'll just go. No, baby. But she's having a bad night.
Poor Bob.
Yeah. But it's when your character makes the switch and you're like, yeah, I think I'll go kind of evil for a while.
Yeah, it's basically played like it was played like it was like a breakup. Like it was like basically I was Anakin and the other character was Obi-Wan, and I'm like messaging him being like, look, you've been a great teacher. We've had a lot of good times.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be best for both of us if I went evil for a little while.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, like when you're at a certain age and like running gags in your life, or you'll have inside jokes with other people, right? Or sometimes you'll have inside jokes with yourself. Yeah. Right? That's one that sticks with me of, I think I'll just kind of go evil for a while. Right? Just for some reason, I just think it's so funny.
I'm in my evil era, as the kids today would say.
Yeah, yes, I'm in my evil era. You know, so mindful, so demure. Yeah,
it's giving evil.
Yeah, but yeah. So you've been working on this book. What's your process been?
I did kind of a rough. I had to do like 20 pages to sell it to them, and it was very dramatic because they were like. We think you're neat, but you haven't convinced us yet. So they asked me to do another 20 pages. And I was like, okay. And you know what I told myself? Is like, Star Trek had 2 pilot episodes. Yeah. They got a mulligan. That's when they got it. So I got to do that too. And they accepted the second one. And then I had to outline the whole thing and thumbnail the whole thing. So it was like a readable book. And then once we agreed on the thumbnails, they were just kind of like, great, draw it. So it's kind of interesting because there's no like separate like approving pencils and then inks or stuff. They're just like, make your art however you make your art, man. And then I got a colorist, which I never had before, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I've seen, I checked out your colorists that you picked up, and they're amazing. Like, their stuff's really good. Like, you picked out a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, she's incredible, and she's like fresh out of school too. I was kind of like amazed. It was like, but you're so little. How are you this good? But
I know, and it's like, oh no, I know they're a threat. I know, but not really. Like, it's really good that you were able to find somebody who was able to complement your style with their talent. So I think that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. It is just the hard part with Trad Pub is just that everything goes so slow, you know. So they reached out to me right as quarantine started.
Yeah.
And then I finished the book in April, and it's coming out next May. So, you know, it's a process, but it's been fun. It's set in my hometown, and I coincidentally moved back to my hometown while working on it, which I kind of think of as like method acting. So,
well, it allowed you to have easy access to reference.
Yeah, and it did just kind of. It's interesting just to be able to be like, oh yeah, what does that particular staircase look like? And I could just like go there and take a bunch of pictures of it, and I'm sure the local next door is like filled with. You know, who is this maniac going around town taking pictures? But worked out well for me.
Yeah, but don't forget that I'm sure the same thing was said about Norman Rockwell when he was running around his town taking a bunch of pictures.
That's true. And
right?
If anyone asks, I am this century's Norman Rockwell, to paraphrase Bart Simpson.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you can't worry about how you look during the creative process, right? You know, you just kind of have to create. And that means sometimes looking a little silly, taking pictures of everything. Yeah, that means getting down on the ground and getting that staircase from the right angle. Yeah. I'm drawing kind of slow tonight.
That's all right. I have two sisters who are now 14. And so when I was working on the book, they were closer to, the characters in the book are about 11 or 12. And so when I was drawing it, they were like, 12, 13, a little older, but close. And so also I would often just be like, hey, okay, I'll buy you ice cream if you come just pose a bunch for me so I can like figure out like how you would sit in this particular environment or whatever.
Yeah. And have like kind of a reference size for gankly still awkward young people figuring out how they're gonna fit in the world because their bodies are growing so rapidly because like we were all there at one point. Okay, I've drawn one layer of my dog mech. Now I need to draw another layer of Skeleblutos. I have to figure out how to draw Skeleblutos now.
Yeah, I'm working on that too. It's I feel like they have to have the beard or they don't read as Bluto.
I'm giving them the hat.
Yeah, you gotta have the hat.
And then I like the idea of them having the beard. And so they're gonna have the beards.
Tangent, what kind of e-bike did you get?
Huh? What?
I want to know what kind of e-bike Tangent got.
Oh, e-bike.
E-bike.
I have a void pity. E-bike. Yes. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember Tangent?
I do. Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a dog's age. Nice to see you, Tangent.
Yeah. Tangent. And I reconnected recently. And so I've been here on Twitch, and then Tangent found me here. And then Magic Marmot is a close friend of mine from my puppeteering days.
Oh, cool. I'm a big fan of Marmot, so I dig that name.
Yeah. I feel like they're going to have like little charred skeletons, like they're little black skeletons.
Oh, you knew Tween Glitch. Yeah, I only knew Teen Glitch. And I was like, wow, what a cool senior when I'm just a wee baby freshman.
In her Hobbit tweens. Did you know me when I was that young? When I was like 14? When I was 13, 14? Did you know me when I was that young, Tangent? Gosh, maybe. It's possible. I've known Tangent for a long time. I've known Tangent longer, I think, than I've known you. Oh, Hobbit Tweens is 20. Okay, yeah. No, I think I've known you guys about the same, or I don't know, maybe Tangent a little longer.
Yeah, close at least.
Yeah.
Pretty
now,
cool.
I have to admit that I am cheating a little bit by drawing the backs of the Bluto's heads. So I'm giving them like skeletal bodies.
I came up with a different cheat, which was doing a shitty drawing, but yours sounds good too.
Well, I'm still doing a shitty drawing. I mean, I'm not above drawing shittily. You know, it's it's okay. We can have a relaxed Philo rather than spitting out, 20 panels. But that's okay. Yeah, I've been watching The Boys while I've been scanning, and it's a lot bloodier. This is my first time watching it through. It's a lot bloodier than I expected, but you think I would have expected that after watching Invincible? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Magic Marmot. Good thinking. Good day to relax. Yeah. Chill vibes. I think I'm more partial to Invincible, but I enjoyed The Boys too.
I'd say with Kirkman, I prefer Invincible over his Walking Dead stuff because it has hope. His Walking Dead stuff, there's no hope in it.
I don't, with all due respect to the people who love it, I don't understand how there can be so much Walking Dead. It's not like Star Trek is a pretty open premise, so you can have 1,000 hours of Star Trek. Walking Dead, isn't it just always there's a couple guys and there's zombies and then you meet some other guys, but actually the other guys are jerks, and really they're the Walking Dead because the world sucks. Can you do that in 5 different shows? Isn't it kind of just the same show?
Yeah. No kidding.
But maybe that's uncultured on my part. I haven't watched all of the different series, but I love Invincible.
When I got pregnant with Annabelle, I went on a Walking Dead marathon, and I could only get through so many episodes before I was like, I can't do it anymore. Yeah. Right? I was just not that it's the worst thing ever, but it was just so depressing that it just I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't sit there and just continually depress myself. Yeah, so I chose not to.
I don't know if this is controversial, but I think the Invincible show is better than the comic. I think they adapted it really smartly.
I feel like it's a little bit more streamlined. I feel like the comics pacing is, there's parts that have decompressed storytelling, where in the show that those moments are a lot quicker because of the time that actually happens in that moment versus what was spread out in the comic, right? To focus on that moment.
Yeah.
Having troubles finding the specifics, but the company I got it from is Ride One Up, and was one of the commuter type e-bikes along with the rear rack and side bags.
Very cool. I'm definitely coveting an e-bike. Maybe once I get paid to do another comic or something.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you're both e-bike people. Very cool.
Yeah, I think Ian wants a motorcycle. Yeah. You're like, wait a second, that's not very green.
No. They can get an electric motorcycle.
good. All right, there we go. And then I will add a, let's add a layer to it. Come on, get off my screen. Okay. Yeah, let's add a shading layer. Like I said, I'm kind of going relaxed today. Usually I'm like drawing very fast, but today we're kind of chill. But again, like Robin's not here. I know you really well. And yeah, like I have a cute story that you could tell us. Okay. How'd you and Emily meet?
It's gonna sound like a Portlandia sketch, but I can tell you.
Yeah.
So I used to live in Oakland, California, and my now partner Emily is from a small town in North Carolina. But her best friend from high school band was like, "Come to glorious California, and you're gonna have an amazing time." And she got her a job with a environmental nonprofit. But it turned out that environmental nonprofit actually meant living on a bus. It was like a biodiesel bus or whatever, but she lived on a bus. And I lived in a former jeans factory with a bunch of other artists. And
of course you did.
Yeah, that was a great place to live. I might, be still being slowly poisoned by whatever chemicals they used on those jeans. Literally, the EPA would come every once in a while and
just to check on you guys to make sure you're still breathing.
Yeah, it was. They're just like, "You're probably fine." And we're like, "Okay, thanks." And yeah, but it was a cool spot, and we maybe had a jeans factory with no insulation in the walls, but what we did have was a shower, and that was a very attractive proposition to people who lived on the bus.
Yes.
And so she came over to use the shower, and we hit it off, and the rest is history.
Hey, hey, that's yeah. You're like, hey, I got running water. It's hot.
Yeah, which could go wrong if you're like,
yeah,
you seem like you need a shower, but in fact she did. So, the system works.
Well, it's I think knowing you probably didn't approach it as you seem like you need a shower, and more like, do you want a shower?
She was already in the market for a shower. I didn't have to work very hard to do that part.
Like more like you seem like you like, here, let me give you a shower. You seem like you need this more than I do right now. not in a bad way, but in but like, yeah, let's kind of help you out with. Let's see. Let's do a darker. No, I'll keep it at that, and then that way we can tell the Blutos from the background. Are you done with your panel?
I'm almost done. I think I want to spend a little grading on the background here.
No worries. I'm on panel 3, so that gives you time to finish.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta find my thing. There we go. And then, go down here. Panel 3. So, what's going on in yours? You have climbing into.
They're climbing on it, but then they see the dog is saying "yum," so they're scared.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to put Nurse Ratched oil inside the thing. I'm just going to put a blob. She's just a blob in there.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and then, panel 3. But still, that's kind of cute that... she's like, ooh, shower.
The system works. When you're in your early 20s, lots of things seem impressive that maybe don't later.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think, like, early 20-something, like, a situation where I was, Magic Marmot, I was living with my stuff on his porch and sleeping on his living room couch for a while.
Oh.
So there's that. What happens after? Oh, no color.
It's just using it for masking.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's I get it.
Yeah. And then so what happens after they crawl in and then they're like upset and like the dog there. Should the dog attack? I'll be using it to
Yeah, they're not actually inside yet on mine, so we can decide, I guess, if they go inside.
Yeah. Okay, so I got one from Area 13 bikes. They're pretty nice, this Magic Marmot, talking about e-bikes. So I think that the dog okay, so Philo should have some agency in his own story.
That's fair.
And they're being attacked by skeletal Blutos, and the Blutos have been very abusive towards the Philos.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like a fight, like defending themselves, like climactic battle.
Like a Douglas Fairbanks sword fight, maybe?
Now, are they actually getting in, or are they still climbing on the outside?
Well, like I said, in my panel, they're still outside. But
okay.
That's up to you or up to the group, I guess, if we want them to go inside.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking let's have skeleton dance-offs as Magic Marmot. We had a dance-off last story. Come on. I'd say they don't want to go into the mech because of Doggo.
Valid point. Maybe the dog should come out.
Yeah. Oh, but if the dog opens the mech, that exposes Philo.
Well, he's a dog. Cut him some slack. He maybe didn't think this through.
Oh, what if it's like a surprise plan where they open up and like the dog attacks and then it's like ratchet oil, like coming out and like, oh, hi Kay.
Hi Kay.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what happened. Okay, I want to show you panel 1, and then Kane can put up panel 2. But the Blutos skeletized, but they're still alive and they're still attacking Philo in the dog mech. But the dog thinks the Blutos look delicious. So we're trying to figure out, because cartoon logic, exactly. So we're trying to figure out what happens next in my panel. So if they look delicious, like would the dog put them all at danger by opening up the dog mech?
Yeah, I think we got a good 2 beats here. We got dog comes out, Philo's like, oh no, and then Philo has to fight them, right?
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to do the fight, and then I'll do the dog comes out for bones?
Okay.
Oh, that's my caption. It's just bones! Okay, that's my caption, and then I think your caption should be along the lines of like, now Philo's exposed, or now Philo has to exchange. Wait, the doggo chases at least half of the Skeleblutos. Can't do better than that. Yeah. So we'll do bones.
How about Philo takes matters into his own hands?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's a perfect caption. Philo takes matters into his own hands. Yeah, that will make Robin happy, because she's like, Philo needs to take agency and he needs to, stand up for himself and stuff. So yeah, that'll make Robin happy. So okay, so we'll have bones, and we'll have the mech open up like this. It's kind of like storyboard drawing, a little bit. It's like really quick stuff. And then I'm going to have the dog jumping out. Bones! So the dog's going to be jumping out for bones. And then, so we're going to have Skeleblutos. Yeah, I think that makes perfect logical sense. And then I'll draw Philo in here, and I'll draw Nurse Ratchet Oil in here with her gloopiness. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So this book that you're working on, are there any other projects you're working on right now?
That's the only one that's really at a state where I can talk about it too much. So I guess the other big thing I do is I do these interactive comics. I guess in a way a little like this, but it's like the comics it's like me and my cat Peanut, and she causes trouble, not unlike our dog is doing here. And then you as the reader of the comic have to like draw the solutions to the problems.
Yeah.
So it's like I start the story and you finish it, like a choose your own adventure.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I know you've been teaching workshops and classes and all kinds of fun stuff for all ages.
Yeah, I do a lot of kids classes, and then there's this new outfit called Crucial Comics, which Shay Merck has started. It's a really interesting website where there's like nonfiction and autobio comics on the site. You can just go there and read comics, but also they run all different kinds of classes and like every aspect of comic making. And it's like really trying to be affordable because, as you know, there's a lot of baggage and financial baggage that comes with going to art school. So it's a little like, what if you could learn stuff without doing that? So I just finished teaching a class for that website, Crucial Comics, which is really cool.
Do you ever listen to the weekly show with Jon Stewart?
Occasionally. I don't listen to everyone, but I definitely have.
There was I don't think it was this past week. I think it was the week before that, or might have been the week before that. But had a woman on there talking about how there's different economic classes, and talking about how there was moments in her life where she was the only one in the room from her economic class, where everybody else had these shared experiences because they were from higher economic classes, right? And I know I experienced very similar moments when I was at MCAT, right? Where people would talk about like sailing and things.
Jesus,
and it's like, well, that's not my experience. Like, no.
I did a commission for someone actually where I had to politely explain, I've never been on whatever kind of fancy boat you're used to. So
yeah, like a schooner or something. Yeah.
You got to explain everything about this boat to me because I have no knowledge of it.
Yeah.
And even as a student, the vibe with that can be weird because also you often have, like, I think art schools are often dependent on people who are maybe not so skilled but have a lot of money, and so then you have like the people. Obviously, there are wealthy people who make good art too, but like I feel like you often have this weird thing where it's like this person's really good but they're struggling, and this person's not so good but their check's cleared so they're here too.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention her name, but there was one particular girl I went to school with who failed a semester miserably. I mean, I'm talking a 0 point something GPA. She didn't attend classes. She was, partying and not doing it.
Yeah.
And mommy and daddy bought a wing.
Oh my God. Wow.
And it had their name on it. And that's how she stayed in school. My parents have a sailboat, but it's not been used since I was a teenager and need massive repairs. Honestly, probably will just get tossed out when I eventually inherit things. And my grandfather had a motorboat that is slowly falling apart in my parents' yard because my father is a hoarder.
Yeah, there's not a 1-to-1 correlation of wealth and boat ownership for sure.
Yeah.
No shame if you have a boat.
No, I'm not saying that there's shame in having a boat. I'm just saying that I personally have not had sailing experience, and there was one particular moment where everybody in this room had sailing experience.
Yeah, that is pretty wild.
And it's like, oh, that's not me. I grew up in a different demographic than the rest of you.
Yeah, and as a teacher too, I've often been in positions where I see how you get there. And like I do all these kids classes, and like this kid rules, but their parents don't have a lot of money, and this kid's just okay, but like their parents will just keep throwing money at me, you know?
Yeah.
Which, you know, and that's fine too. But I'm like,
I mean, you need to eat too. It's
I mean, I need to find the people who have money.
Yeah.
But can we have a better model? And so that website, Crucial Comics, I feel like they're really trying to come up with a better model. So I'm not even. I hope to teach another class for them again, but I'm not currently. But even so, I want to plug them because if any of you are interested in a comics class, I think it's a really rad way to do it.
Out here in Colorado, we have Pop Culture Classroom, which is, you know, they make affordable classes in geeky stuff, both online and in person for people. Mm-hmm. And they even do things like go into prisons and, you know, take their classroom stuff in there, and they will take X amount of their funding from gathering tuition and stuff from their classes, and then they apply that towards like kids who can't afford the classes for their high school classes.
Cool.
Right? You know, so there's X amount of percentage of kids that get to go to the classes for free and get high school credit for doing the classes, and it's like you know, a comic book class or something, and then they get an art credit for taking the comic book class. Let's see. My late spouse's first wife's parents live on a boat for a while and knew richer people. My spouse ended up inviting to sail partway around the world. In a round the world trip, they went from South Africa to Australia, I believe. The mainstay actually snapped during that trip, and they barely got the sail down in time to avoid the mast ripping out, had to motor to a port for repairs. My spouse wasn't rich, but they know folks that were.
Yeah, that proximity to wealth stuff is always wild too.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, artists will always kind of mix with people of all classes and wealth, and, you know, it doesn't matter like where you come from. It's like, oh, hey, come to my party.
Yeah, people think we're interesting, and that can help you, and it can be weird sometimes, but, you know.
Yeah. And sometimes they just don't know how you do it, and they don't realize it's just a lot of lonely hours in front of an art studio or in front of an art table. I'm trying to give him like Bluto eyes. That's how I'm trying to make him look like. Oh
yeah, that's pretty good.
Like Skeleblutos.
I think you have sold the concept of Skelebluto. I'm pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, but they have a line down the middle to make them look more like skeletons. Even though Bluto doesn't have a line down the middle, but you know, what are you gonna do?
I think you cracked this code a lot better than I did. My hat is off to you.
Well, I've been doing the show longer than you have.
I've been drawing skeleton Blutos since you were in diapers.
Yeah, you can't do that. I don't know. You know, for whatever reason. I rode a boat across a pond once. Does that count?
You are officially a millionaire.
Mr. Crabtree. That's pretty cool.
You owe us all money now.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Let's see. Okay. So we'll have like. I'll do this, and then I'll go easy on myself, and I will copy the Blutos I've already drawn.
You low down dirty Bluto copier.
Yeah, I know. Again, I'm using like digital tools, so I might as well use them to my advantage, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I do. I've literally just given my students advice, like, if something feels like cheating, if it's not like copying someone else's proprietary work, you're probably fine. It's probably not cheating. Probably your favorite artist does it too.
Well, it's like that. Have you seen that meme of do what the professional writers do if you're ever stuck? Oh, Control plus Pluto. If you've seen that meme of if you're ever stuck, just put in brackets like ingenious plot to get out here.
Yeah.
And stuff. Like when I started doing that in my writing sped up so much, and then you solve the problems later on, and you go back to it, and you're like, oh yeah, I totally know how they get out of this jam.
Yeah, John Swartzwelder said in his Simpsons scripts he would just write Homer says something funny.
Well, and the other writers, that's the benefit of having a writer's room also on a comedy show.
Yeah.
And so I feel like comedy is best from ensemble. But that's just me. I don't know. And then you have people like Mel Brooks. But then there's stuff like Blazing Saddles, which was written by ensemble.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We got him. We got Nurse Ratched Oil, which was the invention of Chuck Whelan. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pufel.
Yeah.
Chuck and I have become close friends over the last few years.
Yeah, Chuck's great. Chuck, if you're watching, you're great.
Oh, I think Chuck and Dale are doing something tonight.
Okay, then screw those guys.
No, Chuck is very into the music and comic scene in San Francisco, and so he's always busy, on Saturdays.
It's a great city for that.
I
miss the area comic scene.
Well, I mean, you were very close when you were in Oakland.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think of it as a contiguous scene. But it's been a dog's age since I lived there, but it's still close to my heart.
It's a cool place. Like, it definitely is a place that you have to have a lot of money to live there.
Yeah, that's why I moved away, at least one reason.
yeah, it's definitely a place where you have to have a lot of money to live there. And so, it's definitely a place like I could never live. But it's cool to visit. I like how vibrant the city is. I like the fact that there's always stuff going on, and there's always music and activities and stuff at museums. And
when I was there, Oakland was still relatively affordable, and so I worked in San Francisco, and I would ride my little bike to get across the bay, and it was fun. But now I think Oakland is similarly expensive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true of everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's also expensive where I live now, but we moved here for my partner's work, so.
Yeah. And, I mean, you can't always control where you're at.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we moved here originally for Ian's work, and we've stayed out here. We've had better opportunities for me out here in art than actually out in Southern California. And then, it's been interesting. I like having seasons.
Interesting seasons.
Nice. Yeah, seasons are nice. And so, I don't know if you've ever been to Big Bear.
Yes, but it was in the summer.
Well,
that's a pretty penny, Magic Marmot.
Got the first estimate to restore the house just under $600,000. Oh no. Yeah, it's just under $600,000. Oh.
Dang.
Yeah, and you said that the insurance. Matt, just to fill you in. Oh, you're done with your panel?
I am, yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm still working on it.
That's all right. Yours is a lot more intricate than mine.
So then you can leapfrog me, and you can start because that's panel 4 that you just finished drawing, right?
Yes.
Okay, then leapfrog me and do panel 5.
All right, what should happen in panel 5, everybody?
So, okay, if Philo's got to do what a Philo's got to do, I think fight.
That seems logical. Yes. Do we have any other thoughts on that, my friends?
I think you're going to be drawing a bunch of Blutos and a dog and Nurse Ratched and Philo fighting.
You're just gonna draw everybody? You're gonna make me... You're just trying to slow me down because yours is so intricate.
Maybe. Swashbuckling says Magic Mar. Yeah, and a pirate ship, and they're in Times Square.
And blackjack and hookers.
Like, you've seen that old comic online where it's the writer and the artist at the convention, and the writer's like, I love comics because I can put 1 million people into Times Square with aliens attacking, and, you know, it doesn't cost me a thing, and then the next panel is the artist going, I'll kill you!
Yeah, it's relatable content.
Philo being heroic and sassing the Skeleblutos he's fighting.
All right, I like that.
Let's see, Gads, I sold the parental home for $263,000. Jeez.
Where was that?
Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, we have kind of a loyal, close little group kind of down here, and so. And I'm not trying to be too slow. The most expensive line in the script, yeah. Brooklyn, Central, Minnesota.
Probably because Brooklyn's in the name, which just makes it expensive.
Yeah, it's crazy about the assassination in New York.
Yeah, I don't know if I should be on public channels saying too much about that, but that is a thing that happened. How about that?
That is a thing that happened, yeah.
People sure have various feelings about it.
Yes, people do have various feelings about it. And I think we shall leave it at that. about their various feelings that they have about events that happen.
Those feelings are happening about those events, yeah.
Yes. And yeah. Okay. I'm on my shading layer, so I'm not too far behind you.
Okay, you're good.
All right. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm stalling. Maybe I'm talking too much. But I'm also, I am both Robin and me tonight, so I can try and blame it on that. Let's see. Having the karmic chat. The two fleets meet in battle. Yeah. So, wait, no blame, only chill. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. It's easy for me to blame myself. I finished laying out at least the second draft of the first book of Philo, and I think I told you about it. Like, I don't remember if I sent it off your way yet or not, Kane.
You did, yeah. I didn't get to look at it in too much detail. But...
Oh, it's okay. It's, it's just something I've been working on nonstop for a couple weeks. Nothing important.
Well, but when you want me to take the time to really consider it, right? You don't just want feedback after a quick glance.
No, definitely. But no, I'm just giving you a hard time. No, I've been doing that, and so because that's been such heavy brain work. I've been doing light brain work over the last few days. I've been scanning in all these sketchbooks and stuff, and then just listening to the boys and then cleaning up the pages. Mm-hmm. And so some of the pages and stuff have, like, I don't know, old journal entries on them and stuff that I've written down. And so I'm like reading old stuff that I wrote that I like never thought I'd read again.
Uh-huh.
And stuff, and it's just like, oh man, what was I thinking? or I'm realizing like how depressed I was or something.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I guess I wasn't too bad there if I was getting all this stuff done and I felt this bad. So
yeah, it's not always easy to map how you felt versus how productive you were, which is weird.
Yeah. And you end up like making a bunch of stuff, but it's like, oh, I felt awful when I made all this stuff, but yet I still made it. That's crazy. Yeah.
And people probably looked at you and thought, like, man, she's having such a great time. I'm jealous.
Well, Robin Williams said that
exactly.
people fake being okay. They don't fake being, they don't fake being depressed. They fake being okay.
I definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
People are like, Kane's always smiling. Must be having a great time. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like, no. Sometimes people have the sads. And and so it's like kind of rediscovering this stuff. Like one thing that they've determined is that like depression actually does rob you of your memory, right? Because you can't make long-term memories. Like they've proven it in study and stuff. And so there's shit that I've like written down or ideas that I had and stuff that I don't even remember coming up with those ideas or writing it down.
Really?
And it's like, like they're not bad ideas or they're not
interesting.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like different story ideas or game ideas. I had a lot of game ideas in college. Of like, apparently I wanted to make video games in college. Despite the fact that I went there for, comics.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's, and then I'm looking at these and I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually not a bad game idea.
Do you remember when you saved my butt when you were in college?
When I saved your what?
Saved my butt.
I don't remember. How did I save your butt?
Do you remember when you picked me up at the airport?
Oh yeah, and then you stayed in my dorm for like a night.
Yeah, it was just a night, but it was kind of amazing because I'd never been to the Midwest, and I was dating someone from St. Louis, and she convinced me to visit her family. And then my plane got stuck in Minneapolis, and I was like, I know nothing about this city. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how to find a hotel. Do I sleep at the airport? And it was like the middle of the night. And you're the only person I knew in Minneapolis. I was like, I guess I'll text Glitch. And then you were just like, yeah, I'll pick you up. And like picking someone up at the airport in the best of times is a big favor. That was particularly impressive.
Oh, well, yeah, I actually completely forgot about that. Well, I'm glad I was able to help you.
Yeah, you were grateful. I think that was the last time we saw each other IRL, too.
I think it was. Yeah, but that's right, because you called me and you said I'm at the airport, and my plane, like your plane got delayed or something.
It got delayed to the point where they were just like, "There's no plane anymore. Sorry."
Yeah, like they were gonna put you in a hotel or something, or like.
But they weren't. They were just like, you live here now." I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Let's see.
This
has been a good bean for a long. Good bean for as long as I've known her. Oh, well, thank you. Okay, now I'm finally done. So you're on panel 5, which means I'm on panel 6.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, duplicate. Let's do this. And this is why we label our panels. So that I can put them in order. Oh, man. Okay. We got a half hour left. So we're making good time. And let's see. So what's going on in your panel is that the best you got? And it's Bluto. What is your caption? I can't read it.
Bluto
it's at the very bottom.
the Skelly Blutos.
What does it say?
Sorry, Philo
Sass is the Skelly Blutos. Okay. Yeah, Sassus the Skull Blutos. I think probably just continuing the fight.
Yeah, I think so. But I feel like there's got to be a little bit of a turn because right now Philo's cocky. I feel like the Blutos have got to get an edge somehow.
I mean, I don't want them joining like Voltron into a giant skull Bluto, because then Philo's just going to jump back into the mech, right?
Right. What if they kidnap the dog or something?
We've had so much kidnapping in the story.
There needs to be an escalation of peril. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, you're not incorrect. You are correct. There needs to be an escalation of peril. So he is, is that the best you got? And we could have his Bluto show up as the boss battle.
But should he be really like manipulative and be like, "Baby, why are you doing this?"
I think that should be the caption. Is that Philo's Bluto shows up.
Oh, we have a chat suggestion here. One Bluto disarms Philo. However, next panel he grabs one of their arms from the skull of Blutos and uses it against them. That is pretty. So some beating people with their own arms is definitely something that should happen at some point, even if we have a different beat here.
Yeah, I could easily see like. I don't know where he got the sword from. You just gave him the sword. I guess there must have been an emergency sword in the mech.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Let's see. Philo's Bluto.
Is that the least plausible part of this story?
Let's see. Philo's Bluto is the boss battle? Or Philo Bluto boss battle?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see.
Because really facing your own demons is the ultimate boss battle, right?
Let's see. Our Bluto is the boss battle. Yeah, see, our Bluto is the boss battle. That's what I'll say. And I'll have him like partially skeletized so that we can tell the difference between him and the other Blutos.
Okay.
How would Philo react to spinach? Hi, Zacafrac. Hi, Zacafrac. I think that's a new name I've seen. I don't know if it's a new name or not. We might have had Zacafrac before.
Glad you're here, not either way.
Yeah. And they should fight with words as well as weapons. Bluto being manipulative and Philo throwing Bluto's words back at him.
Yeah.
But what was your line like, hey, baby?
Why are you doing this to me, baby?
Why are you doing this to me? I mean, like, Bluto talked in the Popeye cartoons. He had lines. Like,
he's a human being, yeah.
He wasn't just grumbly. Oh, it's Zach. Oh, it's Zach. Okay, hi. Yeah, this is my friend Zach Hennessy.
Hi, Zach.
Who is an artist that's going to be on the show. I had it here sometime next year. We're figuring out which day.
Awesome.
Philo is indifferent to spinach, but kale. Let's see.
Oh yeah. Nature spinach.
Yeah. Let's see. Bluto Prime hid behind the other Blutos, and they got skeletized while he is just Singe. Let's see. Yeah, I could do that. I was thinking like he got partially skeletized, like he looks almost zombie-ish.
Or like the Terminator with like half his face gone.
Yeah, something like that. But I just wanted to take that line because I love it. Why are you doing this to me? Okay.
I'm all for the interpersonal drama and ridiculous stories.
Yes. As it should be. Okay, so Bluto Prime hid behind the other Blutos. Okay, so we're gonna have this, and let's have Philo over here. And he's going to be looking over. Like shoving. There's going to be like skeleton hands shoved in his face. He's like fighting these guys. You know what? I've been taking up the big panel this whole time. I need to put you in the big panel.
Wow, it's my time to shine.
Usually when Robin's here, I'm able to switch between the panels because she's doing the talking.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the old video that was like, let's exercise, paint, and make smoothies on live TV?
No, I don't think.
It was like a cable access show where the guy is on a treadmill and doing like Bob Ross style paintings and also making smoothies and also taking calls. And he was having a hard time. It's very fun to watch. Find it on YouTube. But
yeah,
I think that's the position you're in right now. So.
That sounds like something that's totally up Hamill's alley. Hamill, the guy who created the show originally, created Philo and stuff, he was really into experimental TV. And so one of the shows that he did was called Freaky Deaky, which I can only describe as performance art interactive TV.
Huh.
It was a call-in show, so people would call in and talk with us, but we had people making improv music, like at, kind of just jam music at the time, and then we were dancing to the music and then talking with the people that were calling in, and then playing with the effects with a toaster, if you know what a video toaster was.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and a cable studio, and basically
that sounds
like
fun.
Yeah, so and blue screen, and so we were. It was wild. So we would do things like we would layer past episodes behind us on the blue screen, and we would do that for weeks going in a row. So we would have like serendipitous things like the same person dancing in themselves, like going back like 8 layers.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, I can't really describe the show in detail. I can just describe bits and pieces of the dreamlike sequence.
It's like Woodstock, you had to be there.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll do this and then. Yeah, it was wild. It was a wild show. And so I did a couple of Freaky Deakies. I mostly did Philo with him, but it was enough that it was fun. It was good stuff. I had fun doing experimental television, and then when I was there, I was also doing TV, which was puppets. And then I had school. So I was very busy when I was in Minneapolis.
Yeah. You still had time to pick me up at the airport.
I know. I wish I had more time to show you around the school and stuff. I
know. I wish we had done that, but hindsight's 2020. Should have carped that diem.
It's okay. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I've never been back to. I've been back to Minneapolis, but I haven't been back to MCAD.
It's an interesting place. It's their comic program has grown a lot since I left, and a friend of mine, his son is in the comic program right now, and so he is posting like updates and stuff that his son is doing in the comic program.
Interesting.
8:10, by the way, so we got 20 more minutes. Wait, that's right, we're gonna make him like the Terminator.
Jim.
Doom. I can't wait until Annabelle's old enough for me to show her that movie and watch her face during the reveal of T2.
Yeah.
In the scene in the hallway when you see the two Terminators and you know, like the flowers, when he pulls the gun out of the flowers and stuff like that, you realize which one's the good Terminator and which one's the bad Terminator, right? That switch right there, I want to see her face.
I think Shannon Garrity said she showed it to her kid who's like, I don't know how old, but like under 10, I want to say.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So.
Yeah. Well, Robin, I mean, very smart kid, like a pretty good artist for their age.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I was in San Francisco last, I was there to help out with Chuck's show, and I knocked on Andrew Farrago's door, and he came out, and I'm like, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time, and I just wanted to touch base and say hi, and pass a hi to your wife and stuff. I think I freaked the crap out of him. I think it's like, who the hell is this person?
Well, I'm sure Shaden would know, be different. But
I don't know.
I feel like he's just kind of an introverted guy.
Very smart though, and I respect the crap out of him.
Oh yeah, he does incredible stuff.
Yeah,
but this is a cartoon world, has a lot of awkward introverts. Yeah,
but like I said, incredibly smart guy, and I respect the crap out of him. It's just, I could totally see how, like, looking at it from his perspective, how that would have been like out of nowhere, right? It's like he wasn't expecting me. He only really knows me from like online interactions and stuff, right? And so I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I totally probably violated like a boundary there.
I would have worked. I think I'm done with this panel.
Okay, so then you would be on panel 7. And I am having Bluto in the distance. I'm going to put him in like a shadow cast stuff. And I'm having him like half skeletized.
Can you switch the spotlight unless anyone wants to see mine more? Because I want to better study what you're up to here.
Yeah, absolutely. Here.
Can you zoom out? I just want to take a...
Yeah.
Okay.
See, our Bluto is the boss battle. Hey, baby, why are you doing this to me? And so, yeah, I'm going to have, like, dramatic lighting and effects and stuff like that. And so, what I see in my head, Blessed Cable Access says, Kay, by the way, what I see in my head for the story is like the video game with the 2 life bars, and you know what I mean? But I don't know what the caption would be.
I think we got to turn it to the group here. What's the immediate? Because that's a good place to build to. But I feel like there's got to be an immediate next step of like how Philo reacts to seeing OG Bluto here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Kay, Tangent, Magic Marmot, Zach.
It's gonna be like when my class doesn't start calling on you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Kay says hi. Yeah, Kay is one of the other artists as well.
Oh, cool.
So,
Right, Tangent. What should Philo's reaction be to Bluto saying, "Baby, why are you doing this to me"? Someone else can answer too. Kay, you can answer too if you want.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, cooking. What was the question?
The original Bluto has shown up and said, "Baby, why are you doing this to me?" So what is?
And he's the boss battle.
Yeah. So what does Philo do? He's got a sword, but also this is touching him in the feels. So we got to ramp up the drama.
Yeah, I feel like, see, like I said, I feel like it should be, ready, game, fight! But that's just me. I fell in love with a giant alien octopus. Kay thinks we should bring him on Jerry Springer or Maury or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so what Kay is referring to is earlier in the story, our mom octopus and Philo get together. And so the boss battle apparently is Jerry Springer, which I think is fantastic. I think that's just amazing. Japanese Eros.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you never loved me. You just loved me taking care of you, says Tangent. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, people, I think everybody has, at least everybody from like our generation, has been sick and had the staying at home watching like the Jerry Springer, watching Sally Jesse Raphael, Maury experience. And, like watching these relationships falling apart or something and just going like, wow, these people were together.
It's so weird that's probably wise, Tangent. It's so weird that Jerry Springer was just like the mayor of Cincinnati or whatever.
Yeah. But he was.
He was.
I mean, Sonny Bono was, what was he, a state senator?
He was an actual senator, but that was after.
Yes.
And as we all know, unfortunately, people in entertainment can just be politicians, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the name recognition.
Yeah, you star in a reality show where they pretended you were rich, now you're the president. Good job.
Yeah. Did I tell you what my evil plan is for the next 4 years?
No, but should you be telling me in a public forum?
Yes, because it's not that evil.
Okay.
Okay, so going back to stuff I did in college, back in 2008, Minnesota has an open primary, and I got onto the ticket, or onto the primary, a puppet. and the puppet was Sebastian Pennyworth III, and I managed to get 0.0003% of the vote, which was about 37 people. And his whole thing was that, Saturday nights doing Philo, yeah. Oh, hi, yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, this is, even though it says Arcadia Comics, I'm going to call it Flozax because I know that's Flozax. And then Philo says to Bluto. But yeah, anyway, so Sebastian's whole thing was that he had sound fiscal policy, he had like sound reasoning of like policy and stuff mixed with absolute insanity, right? So it was like, I want to have, we're gonna feed all students in, K through 12 and state students in college and university state schools, 3 meals a day and an afternoon snack of milk and cookies, and we're going to pay for it with asteroid mining.
Okay. That's
right?
Nice.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, basically, I'm going to keep my sanity over the next 4 years by losing the sanity of a puppet.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
And so that's my evil villainish plan. Yeah. So I'm going to run him for president in 2028, and not really. It's just going to be like a YouTube campaign and shit, where I'm just going to have like these insane speeches and videos of like, we should we should make sure that everybody has a cat and dog mandatory to clear out all the shelters. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like shit like that, where it's like we need to clear out all these shelters. Okay, everybody agrees on that, right? But it has to be mandatory that they have cats and dogs, right? Yeah. It's like, no, you can't do that, right? But I took care of you two, protected you when you were weak, corrected you when you were going in the wrong direction. Yeah. And so, yeah, we'll do this. Hey, baby, why are you doing this to me? This panel does not look good.
I like it. I like the shadow.
Yeah, but it looks like Philo's doing something else.
It does a little bit, but, that's maybe why it's bringing up so many feelings.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like let's add another...
Like, I've never had to fight a skeleton, but I can't promise that, it wouldn't go in a different direction once we were in the thick of it.
What, you're just saying that, like, just there's holes and things fall into holes?
I don't know, I haven't experienced this, so I can't say.
We've already established he's fighting.
But we haven't established that he's only fighting skeletons.
Here, I'll give little boofy noises.
Why don't you just have an arrow pointed in that says "not fucking"?
No, I'll do this. No, I know what I'll do. Okay. I'll give him sound effects of, like they do in Batman, of, like, boof, pow. Boof, pow.
Boof, pow. Not fucking.
Not fucking. Specifically, not fucking. And I have a really good font for it, too.
It's like my "We're Not Fucking" t-shirt is raising a lot of questions that are answered by my "We're Not Fucking" t-shirt.
Yeah, let's see. That's my daughter. Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll do boof. There. That looks less like
Do you know the story of my comic that got banned when I was a kid?
Which one?
Can you make my panel big so I can just, as a quick aside, explain this to everybody?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna minimize my art here and tell you a story real quick.
Okay.
So, I did a comic that had a spaceship in it. And the spaceship was kind of like bullet-shaped. It had these wing, kind of like Star Trek style little wings coming off of it, and like a window like that, and like a logo right here, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like 11 when I made this, and I was like, okay, but these wings can retract when it's like going really fast.
Yeah.
And so I got this local comic store to carry my comic, and then a parent complained because I had this drawing where this ship looked like this, and then the jet trail coming from it looked like this, and that was the cover of the comic.
Ah, I see.
And then later in the comic, one of the ships like flies into like a portal in space, and it was like, what? I don't know. It was a whole situation, and I was like such an innocent child, just being like, why am I like my comic?
You are on panel 7, right?
I think it's 6.
No, I'm on panel 6.
Okay, I did have a beer, so you're probably right. All right, 7.
Okay. So then I'm on panel 8. Okay.
Thanks, Kay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're a young kid. You weren't trying to upset anybody. It just sort of happens that way sometimes.
It just happens, you know?
Okay, so Philo breaks Bluto's heart. I'm in love with an octopus. They're on, like, Maori, right? Lurking, by the way, prepping for bed. Aw, thank you, Flozax. I appreciate that. And then, so they're on Maori. I'm in love with an octopus now. We're done. Should we do, like you are not the lover? Like instead of like you are not the father? Like Maori?
No, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we think, guys? I feel like what is Well, I feel like we gotta have Bluto's reaction, right?
Well, you're drawing his reaction. He's crying.
He's crying. Yeah.
He's had his heart broken, but he broke Philo's heart. He was abusive.
That's true. Yeah, I don't feel bad for him. I'm just curious how does he retort to that? You know?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm in love with an octopus now. We haven't drawn Armand in a while, and Armand is in a control center with a bunch of other Philos somewhere outside of the Cthulhu shroom. You hurt me more than any blow ever has. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you hurt me more than any blow ever has, because I guess, yeah, like, blew me down kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh, I get it.
Let's see. I'll get you back. Just wait and see. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna end this, like on a good like story note, because this is pretty close.
Okay, if you're trying to wrap it up,
I am trying to wrap it up.
What if Bluto? What if he's like really actually impressed? He's like that Philo stood his ground, and he's like, you know what? You're right. I need to work on myself. Yeah, become a monk. He's like, he calls off the Skeleblutos. He's like, let's all. I'm gonna leave you.
He calls off the Skeleblutos.
Yeah.
He's and becomes a monk. Okay, I can do something like that. So, let's see.
The idea of Bluto in a monk outfit is very funny.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Bluto in a monk outfit too. So I'm thinking, Bluto, impressed by Philo standing up for himself, becomes a monk. Let's see. There, I know I have a typo in there, but I'll fix it. Becomes a monk. Oh no. Here we go. Ta-da! It's almost like I know what I'm doing. They all join a skeleton order. Let's see, Bluto impressed. Let's see, 829.
I think this panel's you ending it, right? That's
wait. Good. You know what? I actually think your panel's the last panel for tonight.
All right.
Because we're at 829.
Give me just a minute then to get her done here.
But I still want to see him as a monk. But you know what?
That can be panel 1 next time.
No, I'll leave panel 1 to be decided for next time, and then we'll just leave it for this time because that's a good ending of Philo breaks Bluto's heart. And so just kind of a quick review in the big panel. The Skeleblutos are vowing revenge here. They're climbing up. And then you got panel 2.
Yeah, 1 sec. Okay.
Now I'm envisioning a D&D campaign with a Bluto monk PC. Yeah, and so the dog thinks the Skeleblutos look delicious. and then bones, so he jumps out after the bones, and then a Philo's got to do what a Philo's got to do, and then you take the next panel, which is that the best you got? And then it's my panel, which is hey baby, what you doing to me, which is our Bluto is the boss battle, and then it's your panel, which is I'm in love with an octopus now. So yeah, 7 panels, not bad.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, pretty good night.
So some roller coaster of emotions in there, you know.
and that is a typical Philo episode. I want to say thank you very much to my guest for being here tonight. Kane Lynch, very talented artist I've known forever. Currently out of the San Luis Obispo area, but from all over the West Coast. And thank you very much for being my artist tonight and being so talented. And I hope you come back and join us for this insanity again.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. And it's great to connect with you again. One of my first true friends in comics.
Oh, thank you.
20 plus years ago, which is wild to think. Great to meet you as well, Magic Marmot and Tangent and Kay and everyone. This was super fun.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, and I'm going to say good night, Kane, and then everybody in chat. Thank you so much for joining us and for helping us write. And Kay, Magic Marmot, and Flozax, and gosh, who else did we have tonight? We had Zach in tonight. We had Buck Finster Crabtree in tonight. We had a lot of people come in tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you next week. Gosh, it'll be episode 47 next week.